FDA for approval. The one problem that we became aware of last week was that our original supplier, to make the prototypes we're doing by hand. And from a legal perspective, we knew we had to have some assurances from the manufacturers of the film layer that has the pressure strips embedded on it, that this is not something that is harmful if you put it in your mouth. Even though it's got a coating over it, we still needed to have that kind of assurance. And the first supplier that we were working with and been working with for about 2 months, well, we won't provide a guarantee of that. We haven't done any testing on that yet. So now we've identified a second one who says, yeah, we've already got the approvals, we've done the testing, and whoever does that type of approval, their pressure tape, they're willing to commit that no, there's no harmful effects, which at least reduces our liability, is my understanding. That answer your question?
You don't want to talk to an FDA attorney.
Okay.
Just crossing T's and dotting I's. You don't want to go to jail.
No, my partners, that's where they step in. They've agreed to do all the time, so. Other questions? Yeah.
Oh, we're on the mic now, so don't forget. You said that some of the things happen with people's side effects from having bruxism was headaches and was supposed maybe migraines too. Are there any other side effects from having bruxism?
Well, we actually became interested in this because our middle child, Annie, from the age of about 13 on, started experiencing headaches. And we took her to first the doctor in the medical community. So some of the costs that you're incurring is because you're not aware it's potentially a dental problem. And so she had x-rays and different types of tests on her jaw, and different physicians looked at it and said, well, we think maybe she's got this problem, maybe we can do this to help realign, because they could see that there was a misalignment. Our medical bills on her, which fortunately were insured, were over $25,000 just to get to the point of diagnostics. And it wasn't identifying the problem. We finally came to a different physician who kind of looked at this, and it was kind of their area. They said, listen, this could be bruxism. And we said, what's that? He explained. Went to the dental community. Dentists aren't trained on this because they're aware, they know what bruxism is, but they have no tools to diagnose it. So a lot of the educational institutions, it's not a focus for them when dentists come out. But they looked at it, so now she had a mouth guard, and they built one professionally. You get it in the dental office. It's about $500, but it lasts for over a year. And she's been wearing that, and she's had 2 or 3 replacements over time. And, most of her headaches are gone. Okay, so, and she also had some chiropractic issues, but they, together, we just wish we had identified it earlier, because it does appear the mouth guard would be very effective.
Can you talk a little bit about, you mentioned your partners a minute ago, the demographics of that partnership, and here's what I'm getting at, is a lot of times someone will come up and present, and someone in the audience will say, do you have a gray beard, right, an experienced person? And I'm wondering, do you have any young people that are in your company and maybe can help you, help guide you with maybe some of the social media marketing aspects that you're going to have to do? Okay,
currently the 3 of us are the company, but there is, and I wish I knew the name, he's well known in this area, or so I'm told. We have a dentist in the community has an interest to work with us, serve on our board, help assist us with going through this process. So we are moving in that direction because we're aware that we need expertise that we don't have.
Okay. Austin?
I have a couple of questions for you. You were talking about getting that prototype costs down by going through the manufacturing route. How do you know it's going to be $14?
Okay, Actually, it's $11 cost, $14 profit margin.
Okay.
The $11 cost was based on Batu, the engineer. He's done work with three-dimensional laser printers, so there is a possibility that we could actually develop the mold, and that would be for more individual treatment, but we could actually design that individually. We know what the cost of that process would be, and that's the largest cost in the entire process, is getting the mouthpiece. Based on that process, we have an initial cost of $11 to $12. So
So it could be less if you go with one that's just standardized.
yes, and that's why we're hoping that with someone, people that produce mouth guards now, how much more would be involved, or go to maybe, even talk to the people that you guys are working with and see what they can add to this, because ideally, the process, the device would come to us according to our specifications built. And initially, we're envisioning 3 to 4 sizes, and that's what we want in our trial run. To each of these dentists, we have 50 dentists have all agreed that if we provide them 15 prototypes, they will select patients to try it out on. So that's going to be our initial marketing, and those we're planning on giving away to get the information. So.
As far as the manufacturing, I asked that because I don't know anything about the process, but how I typically tackle things like that I know nothing about is I find out, like, if I knew it was going to be $11, there's some way that I know it's going to be $11. I know some information, and I might know somebody. I go to them and ask them, okay, what does it take to get to where I'm working with you, you're manufacturing all this, and kind of let them lay out the path for me versus me
Trying to.
yeah, making out, okay, if I do it this way, I should be able to work with them.
Good idea, okay.
And then my other question, you mentioned, well, the whole premise is this is to identify that bruxism. So, do you have any other cures other than a mouth guard, or would y'all consider making mouth guards for the cure?
Yeah, this is not a cure.
Right, it's just identify.
It's just the identification. And right now, that is what we've restricted ourselves to. But, we're always open to, if we can come up with additional information that would lead to the development of a product actually treated, there we'd have a lot more competition.
Okay.
That would be the big difference. Here, there's no competition for detection.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I think we know the answer to the last question, which is what can we do for you, because it's right up here on the board, but what can we as a startup community do for you?
I guess I would like to provide you with our information in terms of how to contact us, but just your awareness and showing up at meetings like this, feeling free to give us a call if an idea strikes you while you're driving 1,500 miles to Miami, which I just got through doing actually the other direction. But yeah, that's support, just the idea that there's a support community here is reassuring. And we're really looking forward to getting to know all of you a lot better. And you'll like my partners a lot better.
I'll take care of this.
Okay.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
All right, is there any announcements or anything? Am I forgetting anything? Yes, ma'am? Oh, it's okay.
Next month, we'll be here again on the first Wednesday, and if you know anybody that wants to present or be a part of the organizing team, give me a contact.
All right, that's it. Thank you.
My primary business. I've got
You got
a Good to meet you.
And from where this started to
Steve Seibert.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready to celebrate. Yeah, I was cleaning out my desk and found that envelope with the name on it. I said, "That's guy's card."
Hang on to them.
That's good. Yeah, that's still in that. Is that through you? You all set that up? Yeah. Oh, thank you. I've been able to commit. When it comes to Wednesday, one of the Wednesdays I was spending, like, I had so much going on. I didn't know about it. Yes, sir. I had two.
Yes, sir.
That's what I did for Lovey. Love it. I've got properties on the east side where no one wants to go. I've got properties way west of town, right in the middle, and just wherever. I have a lot of tools in my tool belt, so I can do apartments, houses, whatever it calls for. The numbers determine that. I run it through my calculator and look at how much I can sell it for, how much I can rent it for, how much I can do a couple of other concerns. All right, do this. This is a rent house. This is a flip. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was driving through there about a month or so ago. overjoyed herself. Yeah, and she lived in Colorado. Yeah, didn't have to worry about anything. I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to list it. Someone else buy it, and I close 2 million. She could go. I know I could have gotten a little more before, but I don't know. That's what I hear. One guy, the other house, this house is going to be ready July 17th. He called me on July 10th. 7 days. So I couldn't go into the 7 days. I was ready to go. I tried to tell him we took it all day. I'm buying this house. It's a pretty big house. All these plans, it's in my contract. So, we're going to do the title company. Okay, we'll hold on.
Supposedly it's kind of a traditional type of company, and they want to do face-to-face and meetings involved and all that stuff. Yeah, I like it too. I like it too. There was talk because there's going to be some people moving on the 1 Million Cups organizers committee. Your name came up today, so it's still pretty early phases of it. Interesting. It's been
mission trip.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're doing a mission trip we actually will be in London only part of the time. We'll be like John English Channel, and I can never remember the name. Rusty? So we'll be there staying with a family for like 5 days, and then we go like, I guess, this is my first overseas trip to Australia, so apparently they always give you a couple days to like enjoy. So they rent us an Airbnb in London, so we'll actually get to be in London for a couple of days.
I've never been to
Yeah, I guess the church there, they run a similar thing to the Dream Center here, and it just wears you down, after a while, it just feels constantly. All kinds of takers, I guess.
I was planning to this was after I graduated. This was before LCU. I went to talk to Dr. Mason. She was asking me what church we go to. I'm not going to any church right now, And she's like, why not? I'm like, well, because I don't really enjoy it. It's the same thing over and over. And so she actually gave me a book the next time I saw her called Why Men Hate Going to Church. And one of the things in it was, it's because, and it applied to me.